Home the 1989 Winston Cup. Let's have a look at how he done it.
Rusty Wallace wins his first Winston Cup race ever.
Here to present Rusty Wallace for induction into the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America is a 1995 Hall of Fame inductee who just continues to be successful as an IndyCar owner, a NASCAR team owner, a businessman, and as a champion of the city of Detroit. The captain his own self, Roger Penske.
Thank you, David, and good evening, everyone. Obviously, first let me welcome you all to the city of Detroit. As you know, this is a great city. So many good things happen here. Big Three is housed here, and obviously has been so important to many of us in the motorsports business. So again, thank you all for coming. But I guess tonight is a pretty special night for me because when I think about Rusty Wallace, you know, I think about a friend, I think about a driver, I think about a partner. You know, that's a lot when you think about someone in racing. And I go back with Rusty over 35 years ago, 1980. Who was this young kid? That hairdo, remember that hairdo? He doesn't have it today. That was the toughest thing I had, was get him to cut his hair, I think. But after that, we became great friends. But who was this great race driver from the Midwest in ASA who's winning all these races? I didn't know who Rusty Wallace was, to be honest with you. But his friend from St. Louis, Don Miller, introduced us. And in 1980, Rusty came to Penske Racing with an Impala. We went to Atlanta. You remember that, Rusty? We went to Atlanta, and guess what? We finished second. I said, wow. This is a guy that's got to go places. But at that time, we really didn't have the funding, we didn't have the team together where we could run a full season in NASCAR. But Rusty continued on, and obviously the success he had in '89, winning the championship with Raymond Beadle. Congratulations, obviously, to Raymond and the family for just a great career. But Rusty got together with us back in 1991. And from that point on, I'd have to say today that I owe him the thanks. Our team owes him the thanks for putting us in the NASCAR business. And I can tell you that it wasn't easy. Rusty was a mechanic, he was a driver, and he was a pusher. And I can tell you that he worked hard and he pushed us hard. When you think about it, in 1991 we started. And during those next 15 years, we won 36 NASCAR races, 27 pole positions. We missed the championship a couple times just by a couple of points. But what we did, we built a team. It's a team today that has the grassroots and the foundation that Rusty Wallace built for us over so many years. And Rusty, the success, obviously on the track, is important to you. You were a fair driver, but you were a tough driver. And I remember the last lap in 1992 or 93 at Talladega, when Dale Earnhardt got in the back of you and knocked you upside down and you flipped 10 times down the front straightaway. It gives me goosebumps when I think about it tonight. It was the only time that I ever saw Dale Earnhardt concerned. You know what a tough guy he was. His buddy had flipped 10 times down the track, and he came over to the car with me, said, "Is he all right?" We put Rusty in a helicopter, we flew to the hospital, and guess what? 1 week later, he was racing out in California on a road course. That's the kind of guy he is. Tough, fast, and committed. But to me, I look at Rusty as someone that is not just a race driver. How many race drivers have taken the money, how many athletes have taken the money that they've earned and spent them in maybe not the best way? Rusty today has a group of dealerships in Tennessee that you should be proud of. He's a businessman. But more important, he's been a mentor for us at Penske Racing. We hired Brad Keselowski. I talked about Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. These are people that he could talk to me about. We could talk about the things they might bring to our team. Because I can tell you, building a NASCAR team or building a race team today, as all of you know, is not easy. Someone said it's a family, it's a big family, it's a tight family, and you got to be together. There's no question about that. And Rusty's been that for me. He's really been the head of the family, I'd have to say, in racing. Because his success gave us the opportunity to connect with the Miller Brewing Company. And that sponsorship today on that Blue Deuce, on that number 2 car that you see week after week, is a byproduct of what Rusty's done for us in this team. And to me, marketing in motorsports started back with Rusty Wallace and the Miller Brewing Company. Think about 30 years as a sponsor. That's pretty good, isn't it, today? You folks looking for sponsors out there, I'll tell you. I got my arms around this one, so don't get in my way. But really, tonight, for me to be able to congratulate, all the honorees, the inductees, what a great opportunity. Ollie Bardall, listen to the guys, and the motorcycle racers, and all the things. John Bishop, I talked to his son out here. These are just wonderful people. And to me, these two guys sitting down here, it's amazing how competitors get together, isn't it? Jim, you, RAC, and Don, a terrific job, and the sports car will really flourish under the joint ownership and mentoring. But Rusty, tonight, before I introduce you, I'll introduce your family. Katie, Stephen, and Greg, stand up. Let's give them a big hand. This is a real part of the team of the Wallace family, guys. They've stood behind Rusty, and obviously terrific. But let's do tonight, help me induct Rusty Wallace into the Motorsports Hall of Fame 2014. Rusty.
Man, I'll tell you, when I heard Roger was going to induct me, it really got me excited, because what a mentor to have. I mean, this man has been so good for me on the track and off the track. And there's one thing I always tell my kids. I said, Roger's told me a lot of things, but I'm going to tell you kids one thing. He said, nothing good ever happens after midnight. And he was always right about that. So I said, you guys better be back in before midnight. But I'd like to thank the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America for inducting me. I'm so honored. I was so excited to be put in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It was the highlight of my career. And when I come here, I said, boy, this is different. It's real different. I see some of the world's greatest companies and drivers and champions here, and it just humbles me to be here. I look around, I see all the car companies. It's just great to be here in Detroit and be honored tonight, and I'm really humbled. I really am. I'd like to congratulate also all the inductees that are inducted with me tonight. It's an incredible honor. I feel really proud and real happy and a little bit nervous to look down and see the horsepower I see in this room. I used to tell my guys to say, clean the shop up. We got a new sponsor coming, and they got a lot of horsepower. And it's good seeing the horsepower here. You guys have done a lot. I look around the room, I see certain people that have really done a lot of things for me. Walt Zarnicki in the back. Walt's done an amazing job. Walt, thank you very much for sticking with me and all the up and downs. John Erickson, when we won 10 races back in 1993, you're our main Pontiac guy. You're a great guy, and Jamie Allison from Ford, I see him sitting there. I know he's proud to see that old Thunderbird sitting out there probably. It's a pretty good looking car. But my buddy, Raymond Beadle, I wish he was here. Well, he taught me a lot. We won a championship, had a good time together. My friend Fred Wagonhaw's here, and Don Perdome, and Waterbed, all the guys in back of Blue Max Days. Just a fun time. You know, I just can't say enough about Roger. I want to thank Roger for everything he's done for my career. He's been a real mentor to me. He's taught me about the car business. He's taught me how to treat myself, how to treat people on the racetrack and off the racetrack, and just been a real wonderful leader in my life. And anytime I got a concern or a question, I can always pick up the phone and call Roger and run it past him and get his opinion. It's pretty good when you got a guy that's been that successful, that really cares about motorsports and cares about your career, cares about your family, that's just a phone call away. And with that, I don't want to run my speech too long, because when I did the one for the NASCAR Hall of Fame, it went 22 minutes. They said it's too long. But again, thank you very much for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm very, very humbled and very, very excited, and thank you very much.
What a fabulous compliment for Roger Penske to think so highly of Rusty Wallace and Rusty of him. Obviously, an incredible duo.